I'm done with it. 37 months of classified service. I'd been shot twice, broken my collarbone once, and watched people I loved die in places no one would ever know about. I come home from war to find my husband in divorce court, with his pregnant mistress sitting where I should be. He calls me a freeloader. She calls me a disgrace. The judge asks if I have a lawyer. I don't. I have a brigadier general on speed dial and enough classified medals to fill this courtroom. Your Honor, I'll represent myself. I'd landed at Fort Mercer 16 hours ago after 37 months in a place the government said didn't exist. My fatigue still smelled like diesel and desert sand. I hadn't slept in 2 days.
Vivian, a letter for you.
And the first thing waiting for me wasn't a welcome home banner. It was a legal summon. I'd read it on the tarmac, standing between two Blackhawks while mechanics refueled them. Petition for dissolution of marriage, filed by Ethan Cross, my husband.
I can drive you home.
Drop me at the courthouse instead.
I can drive you home.
Drop me at the courthouse instead. Now I stood at the back of the courtroom, watching. The fluorescent lights in courtroom 7B buzzed like dying insects. Ethan sat at the plaintiff's table in a navy suit I'd never seen before. He looked good. He'd lost weight. His hair was styled differently. Slicked back, expensive. Beside him sat a woman. She was young, maybe 24. Delicate features, designer dress, manicured nails resting on a belly that was unmistakably round. 5 months along, maybe 6. I did the math in my head. I'd been gone for 37 months, so this hadn't just started.
Your Honor, my client has made every effort to locate the respondent. She has been absent from the marital home for over 3 years without explanation. She contributed no income, no domestic labor, and no emotional support to this marriage.
No emotional support. I almost laughed. I'd spent the last 3 years doing things that would be redacted from history books. Every struggle and fight on the battlefield was an open secret. Yet my scarred and battered body had remained hidden from Ethan. For sure. No emotional support.
Furthermore, my client requests full ownership of the marital residence, the joint savings account, and the vehicle registered under both names.
Everything. He wanted everything.
Is the respondent present? Has she been notified?
Your Honor, my wife, ex-wife practically, hasn't contacted me in 3 years. She's probably off somewhere.
I'm here.
Your Honor, my wife, ex-wife practically, hasn't contacted me in 3 years. She's probably off somewhere.
I'm here. Every head in the courtroom turned. I walked down the center aisle, boots heavy on the tile floor. My fatigues were wrinkled. My hair was pulled into a knot that was falling apart. I had no briefcase, no lawyer, no heels. Ethan's face went white. The woman beside him grabbed his arm, her eyes widening.
Vivian? When did you...
16 hours ago, I got your paperwork.
Ma'am, do you have legal representation?
No, Your Honor, I'll represent myself. Ethan's lawyer smirked. He actually smirked. Ethan leaned over and whispered something to the pregnant woman. She covered her mouth and laughed softly. Then Ethan straightened, and the look he gave me was one I'd never seen in 6 years of marriage. Pity.
Vivian, let's not make this ugly. Just sign the papers. You and I both know you've got nothing. You disappeared for 3 years. You have no job, no savings, no assets in your name. I'm offering you a clean break. That's more than you deserve.
Ethan's being generous. If I were him, I'd sue you for abandonment. My jaw tightened. 2 purple hearts that would never be made public. A body full of scars I couldn't explain. And I was the one who abandoned him. I looked at Ethan, really looked at him. At the man I'd married at 22. The man I'd kissed goodbye before boarding a transport plane to a country I couldn't name. I'd thought about him every night in the dark. He'd been busy picking out baby names with someone else. Nothing in my name? Is that what you think?
Vivian, come on. I paid for the apartment, I paid for the car. What did you contribute? You were some kind of government desk clerk before you vanished? Your Honor, we have financial records showing that Mr. Cross has been the sole provider.
My phone buzzed in my pocket. It was a message from General Morrison, my commanding officer.
Saw the news. Need backup? Say the word and I'll send a convoy.
I almost smiled. Instead, I typed back, send my service file to this courthouse, unredacted.
Are you sure? That file is above most people's clearance level.
Declassify what you can. They want to know what I contributed. I put the phone away and looked up at the judge. Your Honor, I'd like to request a brief recess. Some documents relevant to this case are being delivered.
Documents? What documents? A receipt from a thrift store?
The pregnant woman giggled.
15-minute recess.
Ethan leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, supremely confident. 14 minutes later, the courtroom doors burst open, and 2 uniformed military officers walked in carrying sealed files marked with red classification stamps. The officers didn't salute me. Not here, not in civilian space. But the way they positioned themselves, one on each side of the aisle, spines rigid, eyes forward, said everything their mouths couldn't.
Your Honor, by order of the Department of Defense, we are delivering partially declassified service records for Captain Vivian Cross, Nema Ashford. These documents are relevant to the proceedings.
Captain, the word landed in the room like a grenade. Ethan stared at the officers, then at me. His mouth opened, but nothing came out. The pregnant woman, I still didn't know her name and I didn't care, stopped rubbing her belly. Her hand just froze there. The judge broke the seal carefully and began reading. I watched his expression change. First confusion, then disbelief, then something that looked very much like respect.
Captain Ashford,
Yes, Your Honor.
this file indicates that you have been on active classified deployment for the past 37 months. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And during that time, you received 2 Purple Hearts, a Bronze Star, and a Distinguished Service Medal, none of which were publicly announced due to the classified nature of your operations.
That's correct. The courtroom was so quiet I could hear the pregnant woman's breathing.
Your Honor, with all due respect, military service, however admirable, it doesn't change the financial realities of this marriage.
I'm not finished. Captain Ashford, this file also contains a financial disclosure. It states that your military compensation, including hazard pay, combat bonuses, and a housing allowance that was deposited into a separate account during your deployment, totals approximately $1.2 million. Additionally, there's a note here from the Department of Defense indicating that you are the recipient of a meritorious service grant of $500,000, awarded for, and I quote, extraordinary valor in defense of national security in an unnamed theater of operations. Is this accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's impossible. You told me you were a clerk. A desk clerk!